In the last two episodes, we have defined sex, gender, and everything else in between, as well as painting a picture of some of the biggest problems that the LGBT face. As we celebrate Pride Month 2017, we look at the history of Pride and why we celebrate it. We will also learn about the LGBT movement in the Philippines and worldwide, and see how the LGBT have gone through in history. Pride, as the name suggests, is an avenue where one can be confident in your own skin and can be safe from discrimination and harm. It is a platform for the LGBT to voice out their concerns, as well as a haven for the LGBT to unite, come together, and celebrate love, life, and freedom. Pride Month is currently celebrated on June worldwide. This is to commemorate the Stonewall riots of June 1969, a series of spontaneous demonstrations that the LGBT took against violent police raids in New York gay bars. These bars serve as a haven and safe place for the LGBT and other sexual minorities from public harassment. One such bar was the Stonewall Inn. In one such raid, 9 policemen arrested employees for selling alcohol without a license and roughed up patrons. They also arrested patrons who were not wearing at least 3 pieces of, quote, gender-appropriate clothing. For the first time, the patrons and other people outside of the bar did not retreat nor scatter. They fought against the violent police treatments of the patrons of Stonewall Inn, even causing the police to barricade themselves inside the bar and call for reinforcements. Although there were already protests by LGBT groups, this was perhaps the first time that the LGBT saw the value in uniting behind a common cause. The Stonewall Inn is now considered as a symbol of resistance to socio-political discrimination. In the Philippines, Pride celebrations have been held since 1992, the first time in the city of Manila. Now, it's interesting to note that in the United States, the Pride March is called the Pride Parade, suggesting that it is more of a celebration. In the Philippines, it is called as Pride March, suggesting that while we have gone far with equality, we still have a long way to go. The Pride March is a revolution. It is a call for recognition of rights. It is through these collective actions that we give voices and stories to a sector that has long been oppressed. A sector that faces stiff opposition from the church, little to no support from legislators, and are misrepresented in the media. While that may be true today, pre-colonial Philippines actually recognizes and accepts people who gender cross. I am speaking of the Babaylan and Catalonia, local men dressed up in women's apparel and acted as women. To the Spanish, they were astonishing, even as far as threatening, as they were respected figures of authority. As we know, women in pre-colonial times are revered and have an equal status with men. They were priestesses and matriarchs. They could divorce their husbands if they wanted to. They chose their children's names, and they even owned property and accumulated wealth. What a radical idea, right? This in turn means that gender crossers also enjoyed this esteemed status. But as the Spaniards colonized the Philippines, this status has been taken from them. This outward expression has been repressed until the 1900s, and even then, the ancient practice of gender crossing has been forgotten and now deemed as a, quote, new trend. Now, of course, with change comes opposition. In a Catholic majority country such as the Philippines, churches have a strong voice and impact in its day-to-day. The church sees homosexuality as sinful and wrong and says that the Bible is against it, even though there are no verses in the New Testament to support that statement. And because the majority of the Philippines is Catholic, policymakers as well as the media are also influenced by this dogma. In 2000, the first anti-discrimination bill was crafted by the Lesbian and Gay Legislative Advocacy Network, or the Lagablab. The ADB was then submitted to Congress by Miriam Defensor Santiago and Akbayan Representative Eta Rosales. The bill faced stiff opposition and lacked a strong base of support from legislators. The Family Code of 1977 states that marriage is only between a man and a woman. This allows for a legal basis to deny same-sex couples benefits their married heterosexual counterparts are enjoying. The media presents the LGBT as the token gay character, their stereotyped effeminate male who is nothing but a comedic relief. This invalidates the daily and life struggles of the LGBT, as well as completely dismisses the other members of the community. However, as time passes and as cultures and generations evolve, we see rays of hope and progress. In the 2016 general elections of the Philippines, we saw the first openly transgender woman to be elected to the Congress, Ms. Geraldine Roman. In the 17th Congress, Representatives Aglipay Villar, Bagao, and Roman sponsored House Bill 4982, otherwise known as the SOGI Equality Bill, a bill that seeks to prohibit gender-based discrimination and provide concrete definitions of sex, gender inequality, as well as safeguards and state-sponsored initiatives to protect sexual minorities. A counterpart bill has been filed in the Senate and sponsored by Senator Ontiveros. The bill, however, does not seek to legalize same-sex unions or marriages. For more information on these, we have provided a link in the description. Mainstream media in the Philippines and around the world has also taken steps to properly represent the LGBT. We have films such as Bride, Brokeback Mountain, Perks of Being a Wallflower, The Kids Are Alright, and In My Life. We also have musicals such as Rent, Hedwig and the Angry Inch, Fun Home. We also have TV shows such as Modern Family, My Husband's Lover, Until I Met You. These present the LGBT as complex characters and not just the token comic relief. Progressive churches such as the Iglesia Filipina Independiente, the Metropolitan Community Church, and the LGBTS Christian Church provide a welcoming community to the spiritual LGBT. They also promote acceptance and welcoming of LGBT members to our non-LGBT allies. Indeed, we have come a long way in terms of gender equality. But there is still so much more to do and even so much more to fight for. We invite everyone to join the Pride March this coming June 24, 2017 in Marikina City to fight alongside our LGBT siblings for equality. It is important for the LGBT to voice out their concerns. However, it is also important for us to recognize that LGBT rights are human rights and that we all have a stake in its achievement. This has been Mike Argonza, Gender Equality Ambassador of the 2030 Youth Force in the Philippines. Thank you for joining us and learning more about the LGBT. For gender equality and for the global goals, let us all unite together in color.